tomorrow we will have, a long time in the making, the new revised standard version of Pearl of Wisdom 2. Yeah, very exciting, very exciting. I wish I had a copy to show you today, but tomorrow we will actually have them in hand. Somebody else can do that part. But it's been a long time coming together, and there were many strange obstacles in getting this book published. But among the new additions to Pearl of Wisdom, Prayer Book number 2, there's a section in the back of scriptural quotations for meditation, so that when you are doing a lot of mantra recitation, or other times too, but it was handy to be able to take the proof of these scriptural quotations into the meditation room where I was meditating, and really reflect on these short little things. It was helpful. So here's one that I went over again and again and again. It's in the Bodhicitta section. It's from Aryashura's Compendium of the Perfections. And the quote is this: when people see that joy and unhappiness are like a dream, and that beings degenerate due to the faults of afflictions, why would they strive for their own welfare, forsaking delight in the excellent deeds of altruism? It's a beautiful quote. When people see that joy and unhappiness are like a dream, and that beings degenerate due to the faults of afflictions, why would they strive for their own welfare, forsaking delight in the excellent deeds of altruism? Well, I want to share that I hardly got past the first line. When people see that joy and unhappiness are like a dream, somehow in the space of meditation or in the space of retreat, looking at that sentence, it was stunning every time I picked it up. When people see that joy and unhappiness are like a dream, I don't see that. Often I don't. And so to really think about, in that meditation practice, joy is like a dream. Unhappiness, harder, is like a dream. And then there's a quote that I've actually read on a Bodhisattva Breakfast Corner before from Venerable Kadro Rinpoche, right? Who talks about how at the time of death, everything suddenly becomes like a dream. So if we're practicing our, imagining our own death and everything is beginning to dissolve and completely, you get this sense of dreaminess. And what has been so real, this whole 50, 60, 70, 80, 95 years, suddenly starts to melt like a watercolor in the rain. Then we see life as like a dream. Life was like a dream. Everything that we imagined as real, solid, so, is just like running off the paper as our consciousnesses recede, and on we go to the next thing. So to begin to get a sense that joy and unhappiness are like a dream before we get there can only benefit our Dharma practice, and can only benefit our practice of dying, I think. So then the second line, I did get there sometimes, and that beings degenerate due to the faults of afflictions. Oh, that's the problem. All of this is like a dream, not a dream. It's not that it's not existent, but it all has this dependent nature of flow and flux and moving in a way that my senses don't get it at all. And because my senses don't get this at all, and because my mind apprehends everything to be completely solid, real, and self-existent, most especially and most importantly me, afflictions, rage, flare, flame, rule my whole way of relating to these things that are actually like a dream, and beings degenerate. Gosh. So why would they strive for their own welfare? Because I haven't gotten past the first two lines yet. So this is my aspiration, and this is just what I want to share. My aspiration is to really spend some time now, post-retreat, trying to see people and joy and happiness are like a dream. Jeffrey Hopkins, in his book on called Cultivating Compassion, which now has a new name, and I can't remember the name of the second edition, but he talks about trying to imagine seeing, when you see people, see them shimmering a little bit. To let your imagination let them shimmer, so that we don't get so caught in our habitual view of that solid, separate, and cut off entity out there. But even just having a little bit of a shimmer. Now, this is also something I can do about 30 seconds, and then my crazy mind is off onto something else. But when people see that joy and unhappiness are like a dream, and that beings degenerate due to the faults of afflictions, when we get through some of that, then we can question why I strive for my own welfare and give up delight in the excellent deeds of altruism that practice for the benefit of others. So may we get through these 4 lines sometime in this lifetime. The sooner the better, and may it be of benefit to all beings.